Hi, my name is Karthik and I am from executeautomation.com and welcome to part 3 of our Katalon Studio video series. And in this video, I'll be talking about an advanced interaction and dynamic object property modifications using Katalon Studio. So before watching this part, I would request you to watch part 2 since in that part, we covered most of the important concepts on working with the web UI using Katalon Studio. Alright, so let's get started. So let's do a quick recap of what we did in our part 2. We discussed topics like working with different browsers, working with data-driven testing using Excel sheet, parameterizing the value from Excel sheet via script tab, and also working with different sets of data from Excel sheet via iteration. So we covered all these different options which is available out of the box in Katalon Studio, and we wrote only a couple of lines of code and the code was working fine like charm, and Katalon Studio managed to work with those different browsers and working with the different data sources, at least Excel sheet in our case. So we are going to deep dive into what is called as advanced interaction in this video. So in this video, we'll be discussing about mouse hover using Katalon Studio and scrolling and then drag and drop using Katalon Studio and see how these options are going to work in Katalon Studio without writing much code. So we'll see how it all works. And finally, we're also going to discuss about this object property modification during runtime. So there are situations where we might need to modify some of the UI property during runtime, and also we need to see if that object exists or not. And if that object exists, we need to modify that particular object property, and then we need to perform some operation, something like click operation. So in our case, we have a button called as reject button, and the object we have saved in the object repository is actually the accept option button, but we also want to click the reject button in some time. So we don't have to store all these values in the object repository of Katalon Studio because it's going to be a cumbersome option because there are so many objects going to be sitting in the object repository of Katalon Studio, and maybe it slow down the way it is going to identify the object. And if we know that the object is going to be used only one time in the whole life cycle of our automation, then probably this modify object property method is going to be very, very helpful. And we are going to use this modify object property method to modify the property of an object during runtime. All right, so let's quickly see all these options in action and understand how things work. So for that, I'm going to flip to Katalon Studio. All right, so this is the Katalon Studio installation that I have got in my machine. So I'm just going to open that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new project, and I'm going to call this as Advanced Interactions. So this is the project which I'm going to work with today, and I will show you how to work with different options. All right, so the first thing is I'm going to create a new test case. Again, I'm not going to show you how to work with the spy web options and all those things because we have already discussed this in part 2 of our video series. So I'm going to quickly create a new test case this time. And why don't we just do a record? It'll automatically do that for us. So I'm going to hit this record web option. And the one which I'm going to record today is going to be again our demo site. So I'm just going to open this demo site. So this is the URL, and okay, it's already available. And I'm going to record this. Basically, it's going to be the same kind of record that we were doing before. It's still the same thing, but few interactions will change here and there. So it says add object to the object repository. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it for now, and I'm going to hit record. So this is going to launch a browser for me, which is nothing but the Firefox browser. And I will quickly run through the login options because those things we have already discussed in our previous video. So you can see that the red highlight thing, it's actually working. So it is recording basically. And then I'm going to hit login. And then the hover option. So in order to do a hover option, our demo set actually has got this nice menu. You can see if I just go over there to the automation tool, it's bring us the menu items. And you can see if I hover the Selenium, it's going to bring us Selenium WebDriver, Selenium RC, and Selenium IDE. So why don't I just click this IDE? There we go. And you can see there is a option which has got a scroll thing. And if you scroll all the way down, you can see there's an accept and reject button. So if I click this accept, it should also select this option. And also it should add that object in repository. So let's quickly see what has actually been recorded by our Katalon Studio object repository or the recorder. You can see that astonishingly, the hover option is not even recorded. It just entered the admin as the username and password, click the login button, and then it left clicked something there, which is a hyperlink. You can see what is this property. Maybe it's not even showing here. Maybe if I click this guy, yeah, so it says that Selenium IDE. So this is what it is identifying there, and then it's gonna click the control, which we're just scrolling down, and then it is accepting the input accept. That's it. So these are the options being recorded. Astonishingly, the hover option is not being recorded for some reason. So it is of course a known issue in Katalon Studio. The record option will never actually record the hover option for now. So as of now, we just leave with it, and I'm gonna hit OK. Or maybe I will also, yeah, maybe after adding this into the object repo, we will try to add the objects for the different hover options that we're actually looking for. So even if you try to run this particular test, it's not going to run. Basically, it's going to throw you an error. So I can quickly show you what I really mean. So if I just run this in the default browser, which is nothing but the Firefox browser, you will see that it is going to open the browser. It is going to do a login, but unfortunately, it cannot be able to navigate into the Selenium IDE, and also can perform the scrolling and accept the option button which was available. And also this is a known issue again, which is something it cannot navigate to. So I'm gonna copy this guy, and I'm gonna come all the way here to the input, and I'm gonna paste this http:// all right, hit OK, and I'm gonna run it again. So it's launching the test case. Okay, it has opened the browser, and then it's going to enter the username and password. And you can see that the hover operation is not going to happen, but still the test seems to be in green, make us happy. But unfortunately, you can see that the click operation has not happened there. And if you see this, it says that the element is not visible, and that's the exception. Basically, it is a true thing, because anyhow, we have not even hovered there all the way to this option to perform the operation. So we have to write this particular piece of code and see how things work. So basically, that's one of the things which we have to do. And there is also a drag and drop option which we have not recorded yet. So you can see, you can just drag this thing, drop it here, right? Just to demonstrate how it works. So I'm also going to do that. All right, so maybe I can close this browser, and let me open the Katalon Studio again, and let's try to work out with the first thing, which is the hovering option. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to spy the web this time, and I'm going to spy for the hovering option which was available. So this is the URL, and I'm going to start this recorder. Actually, I'm not interested in these things. Okay, so this is the one which I'm interested in, the automation tool. So if I go over here, you can see that the red box coming in. So I'm just doing this Alt plus the tick symbol. Just going to record that, and then if I go to the Selenium and then Selenium IDE, so I have added all these options there. So now if I come all the way down, did I record all these options? I think so. This is Selenium IDE, and what is this option? It says element is not verifiable. Okay, that's so bad. Okay, this one. Okay, so now it is actually recording. So basically I have to go to the text all the way, and only then it is going to record, which is good. Not a problem. I can do that as well. All right, so now we have some text. Maybe I can delete these options which are not so relevant. Maybe. All right, maybe I can delete and delete and delete. So this is the automation tool. This is the Selenium IDE, which is good, right? It has recorded, and then I'm going to add this to the object repo. Within, there are so many options though. I'm just going to add anyone over here. This is the page object 2. So this one is not required anyways. I'm going to delete that. And this is for the login page. This is for the Selenium IDE page. And this is for the home page of the application. All right, so anyways, it makes sense. All right, and then I'm gonna go to the manual, script options here. And then once I click this login, yeah, this is where the problem comes in. So I'm just going to delete these two options here. Basically, I need to hover, right? So first of all, I need to hover to the automation tool, which is nothing but the web UI dot. Do we have something called as hover? No, mouse hover. Yeah, there is something else, mouse over. Mouse hover. So it's a mouse over, which is actually gonna hover to the given element. You can see the simulate the user hovering a mouse over a given element. Okay, so this is the one which we should be looking for. I'm going to delete that. There's a shortcut to add this object into this particular code base. It's very, very simple. All I have to do is just drag this automation tool, put it over here. You can see it is automatically adding the particular value. So you can do that here. So you can see this is the object for the automation tool. So this is going to hover over there. And then I need to also hover to the Selenium, right? So mouse over, right, and Selenium is the one which I need to hover to, right, there we go. And once I hover there, I then need to click the Selenium IDE. So basically I don't really have to hover there, rather I can just do a click option, click of this particular Selenium IDE. So this is going to click things for me. So this is going to be hovering the automation tool, Selenium and Selenium IDE. Once it has hovered there, you can then perform the accept operation. So basically, you can see that it is automatically going to scroll a particular element into that particular control and then perform the operation. If you don't believe me, you can see that in action. So if I run this particular piece, you'll know that it is automatically scrolling all the way down to the control, and then it is clicking the accept input checkbox option button, sorry. So let's see what's going to happen. So it's opening the browser, is then going to log in, and then automation tool, Selenium, Selenium IDE, and scroll down, and it also did the accept option that as you see there. So that's it. So this is how the mouse hovering and the scroll option is actually happening. But if you still don't believe me how the scroll option is happening, or maybe if you feel that there are some situations where Katalon's hover automatically is not performing the operation, then there is a method called as scroll to element, or scroll to element with the offsets. So you can use that. So you can see over here, scroll to element, scroll to position, so you can pass the offset there. It just works fine, right? So these are the another options which is available in the Katalon Studio that you can do. Final operation is going to be the drag and drop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record again this particular piece because it's going to be very easy for recording. But again, it's going to generate some duplicate objects which we can maybe delete them. We don't really want that. So all right, logging in, and drag and drop is the one which I'm going to click. And then I'm going to hover this, drag this forward to the first position. That's it. And now if I see the object, you can see it's just dragging there. But if you want to drag this particular 3 and put it in the 4, something like that, just going to do that as well, right? So all of these are actually recorded there. So that's how it actually works. So I'm going to hit OK. And this particular option, you can see that this drag and drop is actually from the home page, and this one is going to be from the different page. So I'm going to hit OK, right? And we know that the page is going to be this one, right? So let me do this. So if I go all the way over, you can see that it has actually recorded these options, which we don't really require. So I'm just going to delete this particular piece of code, and I actually require this. Control X, and we delete that, and we'll come all the way down, paste it over here, right? So you can see that it is basically doing a click operation rather the drag and drop operation itself. But still, you can do the drag and drop if you want. You can see it is drag and drop to element. So basically, if you pass this drag and drop to element, you can do that. So this is the one element which I have to drag, and I have to drop into the third element or something like that. So I can do this. Basically, the record option is not going to do that for you. You can modify the code based on your need, since the object is available right now. So I'm just going to delete that, and I'm going to paste it over here. All right. Right, so this is the drag and drop. So you can see that it's hovering to the drag and drop menu, and then it's going to drag and drop to the object. So 4 is going to be dropped into the 3 options. So let me quickly run this and see if it really going to work or not, because I'm not sure as well. All right, it opened the browser, and it is going to, ooh, that's so fast. It should have navigated to, okay. Seems like because we made some code change there, because we recorded, all the existing codes are actually gone that we modified. So yeah, that's something the Katalon Studio used to want. If you make any changes, or maybe if you record another time, make sure you have a backup of the code that you already have, so that you don't really have to end up writing the same code again and again, like what I'm doing right now. So I need to actually mouse over to the same automation tool. So let's quickly run this and see what's going to happen. So yeah, that was the pain point. So if you do a record option once again after modifying the codes over here, the existing codes will eventually vanish. So make sure you also back up that. But there should be some other options which I'm not really aware of. But yeah, it's more like code divide testing. You can see that it is clicking that accept, and it's going to drag all the way to that particular option. But it was so fast that we cannot eventually see that in our eyes. But yeah, it's actually doing a drop to the object 3, and it performed the operation and closed the browser. Yep, that's how the drag and drop option actually works in Katalon Studio. It's pretty straightforward, right? The final thing, which is more interesting, this is the dynamic object change. So you can now see that we have the accept object over here, input accept. For this particular control, you can see the name is accept, but there is one more option which is called as reject, but I have not recorded that object itself, but I know what is the property for that particular reject. Basically, the name of the input text box is reject, or you can even use the XPath if you want. So I'm going to change the name on the fly and see what's going to happen. So Katalon Studio actually provides an option for dynamically changing that particular object during runtime, and that's what is called as the modify object method. So you can see this. So reject button is equal to, you can just do this web UI dot, there is something called as modify object property. So this one, if you use it, it says you have to pass these parameters: test object, property name, what conditions you have to perform, like contains or equals or something like that, and then string of modify value. So which value you're going to modify, and is that particular control is active during you're going to perform that operation. Of course, yes, it's actually available by the time. So these are the operations that you need to perform. So this is the object which I'm actually talking about. So I'm going to copy this page object and paste it over here. Modify object will actually take, what are the parameters? Test object, property name, match conditions. Okay, so the property name. So here the property name is basically, oops, I need to copy this, sorry. And I'm gonna paste it over here. The property name which I'm going to change is the name, which you can pass in something like this, even in single quote if you want to, and it's going to be equals, and the name is actually reject. So reject, and it is true while it is available, while it is going to perform the operation, which is visible. So I'm going to give it true. I'm going to save it. So this is the object which we have got, and then I need to click that, right? So clicking again is going to be same, just web UI.click of reject button. So you can see the IntelliSense is actually giving us a IntelliSense for us, but somehow it disappeared. That's it. So this is the object which I need to actually click. So you can see that the same object from the object repository input accept, but I'm going to modify its name, which is equal to reject. So let's quickly see if this is really going to work or not. So I'm just going to run this test, and I will see like how it works. So basically this equals, if you're wondering how I get this particular equals property, basically if you go over here, this is the match condition, equals. That's how I came to the conclusion that that's how it's actually identifying the particular control. So fast. So the test got failed. Maybe I should have given a different option, something like hover and wait or something like that. So because I was holding the mouse there, the test got failed. So maybe I'll run it again, and I will move my mouse cursor from that particular point, because I actually accidentally I was hovering the mouse, and the hover thing in the application was not performing as expected. So that's the problem. All right, so it has opened the browser, logging in and hovering IDE. You can see accept and reject, both of these options are selected, and one is from our guy, the dynamic object change option, which was available, and it came there. Right, so everything is working fine as expected in the Katalon Studio. So this is how you can work with the advanced interactions like hovering, scrolling, and drag and drop, and also modifying the object property during runtime in Katalon Studio. So that's it, guys. This is how we can work with these options in Katalon Studio. And once again, thank you very much for watching this video, and have a great day.